Now, Unit 1, I'm going to take 2 days to review this. The first day is what we're going to call Review A. I'm just going to review half of the test. Now, we're going to start with reviewing the mean. Find the mean for each data set, So for the mean, I'm just going to grab my calculator. And I'm going to add all my numbers. So you notice there I'm adding all my numbers. I happen to get 29 of them. All right, I added my numbers. Then I count how many numbers I have. It's easy for me to count my points. I happen to have 11 of them. So I'm going to go, remember, first I add all my numbers, 29, and then divide it by how many numbers I have. 29 divided by 11. Now it gave me some decimals. I take a look at the third decimal number. It's right here. The third decimal number, it is big enough, right? Big enough, I call it 5 or more. In this case, 6, right? 5 or more. It's big enough, but because that is big enough, the previous number is going to go 1 up. So my answer in this case should be 2.64. Because my third decimal number was big enough, right, 5 or more, my previous number, that's the 3, went up to a 4. So 2.64. I'm going to be answering these in 2 decimal numbers. Now let's take a look at number 6. I'm going to add all my numbers. So I'm just going to grab my calculator. I'm going to add all my numbers. I'm going to divide it by how many numbers I have, right? I added everything, it equals 168. I'm going to go 168 divided by 10 because there are 10 numbers. 168 divided by 10, I'm going to call this 16.8. Now, I don't need to round anything up because it's already rounded to 1 decimal number. I'm going to round it to 2 decimal numbers if necessary. So when I have many decimal numbers, I'm going to round it to 2. In this case, just 1 decimal place. That's all I'm going to write, 16.8. Now let's take a look at number 7, my example number 7. I'm going to add all my numbers. So I start by adding all my numbers. It's okay if I get a big number as a result. I'm just adding all my numbers. Then my result, I'm going to divide it by how many numbers I have. Right? I added everything, it equals 804,805, but I'm going to divide this by 9 because there's 9 numbers. Now I take a look at my third decimal number. It is big enough, right? 5 or more, it is big enough. So my previous number is going to go up, 1. So my number will be 89,422.78. If you write the comma to separate the thousands, that's okay. It's optional. The comma in my homework will be optional. 89,422.78. Now let's take a look at example number 8. Now, I'm not talking about the numbers at the bottom. I'm talking about the numbers on the left. I'm going to choose any 2 numbers. I see 2 numbers on my left. I'm going to choose 2 numbers because I see there's a space in between it, like a little line right in between it. So I'm thinking 24 and 20. The number that is right in between 24 and 20 is 22. So that means that each line I'm counting by 2s. So my first bar, the first numbered, goes up to 34. Remember, each line I'm counting by 2s. My second numbered, notice how it's a little more than 24, but less than 26. So that's why I'm going to call that 25. This numbered is 19, 22, 5, 4, 6, 12, 5, 4, and 4. Once again, I was looking at the numbers on the left. How high did my bar go? All right, I'm dealing with the mean in this case, so let me just add everything. I'm just going to add all my numbers. And I'm going to divide it by how many numbers I have. So I added everything equals 140. divided by 11 because there's 11 numbers. 140 divided by 11. I take a look at my third decimal place. It is big enough. Because it is big enough, it brings the previous number 1 up. So my answer will be 12.73. So that's how we do mean. We just add everything and divide it by how many numbers we have. Another thing I'm going to review in this homework is how to do the median. Once again, on number 9, I'm not talking about the numbers on the left. I'm talking about the numbers on the right. Notice how each line I'm counting by 2s as well. So we can easily get the number for each. My first number is 12. This is 8. This is 13, 15, 9, 9, 11, 17, 10, and 10. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my numbers in order from small to large. So I'm going to put my numbers in order from small to large. I want to find the number in the middle. I count how many numbers I have. So I happen to have 10 numbers. I count how many numbers I have. There's 10 of them. 10 is an even number. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So let me draw a line such that I have 5 numbers on each side of my line. I'm going to draw a line such that I have the same amount of numbers on each side of my line. If my line happened to go through a number, I will say that's the median. Now in this case, it doesn't. It goes in between the numbers 10 and 11. So I can ask myself, what's the number between 10 and 11? We can think of it the way we're going to figure it out. I'm going to add the two numbers and divide it by 2. 10 plus 11 is 21. 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. That's the median. Take a look at number 10. Let me start by writing all my numbers in order from small to large. I happen to have 10 numbers here as well. 10 is an even number, so I'm going to divide it by 2, so I get 5. I want to draw a line such that I have the same amount of numbers on each side. My number goes in between 6 and 6. Right? The number repeats. Therefore, my median in this case is 6. Let's take a look at question number 11. I'm going to put my numbers in order from small to large. I'm going to draw a line such that I have the same amount of numbers on each side of my line. There were 11 numbers to begin with, so I'm going to draw a line such that I have 5 numbers on each side of my line. My line happens to go through number 62. Therefore, my median in this case is the number 62. Right? In this case, I happen to go through a number, so that's the median. Looking at example number 12, let me put my numbers in order from small to large. I'm going to draw a line such that I have the same amount of numbers on each side of my line. I see that I go in between two numbers. I can ask myself, what number is between 48 and 50? If I cannot think of it, I'm going to add the two numbers and divide it by 2. 48 plus 50 is 98. 98 divided by 2 is 49. It is the number right in between 48 and 50. That's how we do median. So for this review, I just want to practice mean and median. And that's how we do both.